Oh yeah. So you think this is?
That's gonna be weird for the podcast. It's just gonna be sort of us talking and just you going.
That's the new intro song. That was Ciaran with in theaters soon.
Are we starting?
I don't know. You want to do the intro?
No. I get to do the intro today. Yay! Hello, welcome back to Modest Podcast Geniuses. Yes, I said geniuses. That's because it's plural.
It is.
With me today is Jonathan Schiess, and I am, of course, Ciaran.
Yay!
Green.
Well done with the pronunciation of my last name.
You're welcome. I try.
Thanks. I never get offended if someone says Schiess, but it's still...
Scheisse!
It's like this undefined hatred towards them for the rest of the evening.
Undefined hatred. I think that's a pretty defined hatred at this stage.
Wait.
That's a nice background music. We're very jazzy right now.
Yeah, I know.
I hope the microphone can pick it up.
This is like the archetype of a student dorm room, you know?
Is he
saxophone player?
Is he right above you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He plays a lot of Dire Straits, which is nice.
Hey Jonathan, what was the least favourite job you had?
I've had 3 jobs.
I've had none. Actually, no, that's not true. I've only really had one, and I liked it.
What was the job? Being in a relationship?
Ooh, she's not gonna like that. No, I was a camp counsellor for, I think, have I done 3 years or 2 years now? At a summer camp in Ireland.
I like how you asked me the question and then...
Well, no, because you then asked me the question.
True.
So, fuck you.
Well,
I've turned this around on me.
I've had 3 jobs. My second job was I was selling...
Crack.
I wish. I wish I had some crack right now. I was selling links online, like an e-store company. It was really... Like, it took me 2 hours to do it. And I had 8 hours. So the rest of the day I just spent pretending to work. I'm actually quite skilled at that. Writing random emails to myself just to see...
Jonathan, you're not actually touching a keyboard. No, working.
I'm working. Dear customer.
See, the fact that like it's very much an audio thing we're doing right now, and you're not even touching the keyboard. You're not making any sound.
Oh shit! Okay. Dear.
There you go. Now, see, now the audience is ingrained in the story.
And also the joke is better second time around.
Yes.
So it's good. and
we're funnier now because we learned.
I had worked at a graveyard. I was a grave digger.
Were you?
Yeah, I haven't told you about that.
No. Jonathan, as you know, you don't actually tell me much.
We don't hang out that much, though.
I know, but I only found, again, as mentioned before in the podcast, I only found out you had a twin this year.
True.
You worked as an
I
was it as an undertaker or was it digging the graves?
Digging the graves. Mostly urn graves, though. Most people get cremated these days. But I also cut grass and blew the leaves off the pathways and shit.
I thought you were going to say you blew something else entirely.
Well, we had coffin breaks. I mean, those were wild.
Had to comfort the widows somehow. You're blowing the widows at the graveyard.
All right, of course.
I'm going to make the decision now because like we're getting very off topic. Next question. Ooh, I can't do either.
Is it harder to exercise more or eat healthier?
Yeah, yes to both.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one. I struggle to eat healthier.
Because it's a passive solution. It's like you can just stop instead
Eating
of actively doing
healthier
something.
will help because you can't just sort of start doing exercise and still, as I do, eat shit. Literal shit.
You just stay at 0 then.
Pretty much.
They cancel each other out.
See, exercise, it's quite easy, just like even just going for a walk every day or doing something extra every day will sort of start your road to exercise because it's always like incremental stuff, whereas like always the idea with eat healthy is you have to give up everything straight away and start eating healthy. There's no like sort of easing into healthy eating, I think. And
you don't think so?
No, well, like,
you couldn't have one of those like 5-2 diets. You fast twice a week and then
I wouldn't
kind of
fasting isn't diet.
That's a separate thing.
Okay, eating healthy is eating healthy. That's a
less
lifestyle
carbohydrates.
choice. Whereas diet is always a temporary solution for temporary gains. But
would you agree though that eating healthier and not exercising a lot at all, that's only like half of the solution? It's a passive. Okay, I'll just not buy that. I mean, it doesn't really require any active effort to.
I'd say they're both half a solution in this case, but it's sort of which do you find hard to do?
Harder to do.
I find it personally harder to eat healthier because I love my sugar. We've talked about this before, and again I'm sounding like a fat bastard. I get off.
No, I didn't mean to say like yes you do.
Yes,
yeah.
you are a fat bastard.
You are fatty.
Right, you're just a little fat kid.
I was just agreeing passively.
About
I think it's harder to exercise because I grew up in a home where You know, I've been taught to eat a salad for each meal kind of thing. So
I was always told to eat healthy, but I always preferred meats and carbohydrates and the sugar, and I still do. But I always came from sort of quite an active family. It's not even like I should exercise more still, but the fact is like I know more about exercise. I think like I know how to do that better, whereas I don't want to count calories, even though I probably should, and like I don't really know where to start with a lot of these things, because you have to change so much more with healthy eating, whereas like just do a bit more each day and like keep increasing that just seems easier to me. I guess it's a mental thing.
I think it's a mental. Didn't your parents use positive reinforcement? So eat your spinach, Ciaran, and you can get some ice cream after.
Most likely.
You've suppressed those memories of spinach and salad and healthy things.
Well, I think the only time I've ever had spinach
Jump right into the ice cream.
My Indian uncle made sort of a chicken and spinach curry for us. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. So I'm not going to say spinach, and plus like Popeye had spinach, so like staff has that in its favour.
Oh, true.
I think there's a big culture where sort of the crap food is the reward, whereas the good food is the thing. Like people say avoid, like, oh, I have to gruel through this thing just to get that piece of shit. Whereas like if you tell the child like, well, you don't want that because that's bad for you, whereas you want this because you'll become big and strong, you won't regret it later in life. Like whoever regrets eating a carrot unless you're allergic, but who is allergic to carrots? If you're allergic to carrots, you're probably done in life. I hope there's not someone who actually is allergic to carrots now, because that'd be horrible.
Can you imagine how if we one day get that big of an audience, like
we
listener base, that we actually have a carrot allergic person?
There's the one person in the entire world. I'm sick of being allergic to carrots. I'm going to do something that I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to listen to this podcast. Everyone's been telling me.
Cheer me up a little bit. I hope there's a carrot allergic person in here.
You never know. There could be someone we know who's allergic to carrots.
I say in here, I mean ether. Ether.
Yeah.
Out there,
Internet.
I guess.
It's what that's called.
No, but the ether is like, you know, the sound waves of space.
I don't think that's what the ether is at all.
I'll just add the real explanation later and make me look smart.
Ether. No. Whatever Jonathan said, it wasn't.
That's gonna go out as well, so you can't win because I'm the editor. Should we move on to the next question?
I think so. Next question. Interesting.
You like cooking and things of that nature?
I don't think this is the kind of question they're going for.
Can I just say before we go on, you have a great haircut.
Thank you. But again, they can't see my haircut. They didn't know what my hair is like beforehand. None of these have gone up yet.
It's way better.
We have no. They have no references to who I am. And like,
maybe we should have like a 1 second slide on YouTube.
Just sort of like I think we should have like different slideshows to each topic that comes up. So like, the first one just have a picture of Batman or one of us just dressed as Batman, just going.
It's like the low budget animations solution.
We're very. If there's one thing we are, Jonathan, it's low budget.
Although that requires listeners to actually look at the screen. They couldn't really they couldn't download the podcast and make it available.
If we feel that the section is very vital, we can sort of make a sound or give a heads up saying, well, you have to look at the screen now because it's really interesting what's happening. Yeah. Unless they don't have no idea what a lion or Batman looks like, then
feel free to educate yourself.
Yes, we're educating. That's because we're dicks.
We're
incredible douches who think we're improving people's lives somehow. Again,
if you could choose your last meal, what
would my first question to that would be, what did I do
to deserve the death penalty?
Yes.
You questioned my authority.
You have no authority. See, you did it.
See, so what's your last meal gonna be now?
Oh no, I ran into that one.
Like if you ate a person, would you have a steak or would you?
Just have another. I've gone the whole hog. I might as well do it again.
Would your crime correlate with your choice?
I don't know. I was just interested as to why I'm being put down. Basically,
you want some backstory to this question, okay?
Well, I think I'm just gonna sort of talk about the last meal because apparently they don't actually do last meals like big proper expensive last meals anymore. It's the taxpayers in America thought, why are we paying for this sumptuous meal for someone who's about to be murdered?
Well, why are we killing them? We're losing tax money.
I'm not going to get into that argument right now. That could be for a different day when we're more popular and political. But so they don't actually put that much money into it. So I suppose I should come up with two answers: my budget answer and my
dream answer.
What's
your budget answer?
My budget answer.
I guess you would choose something that you could have a lot of spices with it to kind of give it that extra flavor a little bit.
I was about to say I'd get a chicken korma, a large naan,
Bit of coriander on that.
But yes, I would get a coriander naan.
Oh, nice. I know food.
Possibly just sort of I get a nice Indian for the hell of it. Throw in some other fast foods just for the fuck of it, because I'm about to die.
And this is your budget answer.
And this is my budget answer. Like you can get a meal deal or some. McDonald's is cheap enough. My dream answer.
That's a pickle.
I would normally say steak, but a lot of people just don't know how to cook a steak, even in restaurants.
Oh, so you're not trusting the inmates because they're running the kitchen.
Yeah. Because like
judging by all the HBO series that they're running the kitchen.
Well, they're probably just shanking something or shanking the beef, and I don't want shank stew. Oh, Mars have to have stew, is it? Ah, you race. Why don't you have reindeer testicles for your last meal then? Stereotypes, they're funny, aren't they?
So what would it be?
I wouldn't mind stew, homemade stew like my mom used to make. It'd be a nice sort of taste of home, or mince and potatoes like my mom used to make. Because when I was younger, I would get the mince and potatoes and make a volcano shape out of them, then like ketchup and pour it on the top, and it burst out. Awesome.
It was awesome.
I have my volcano.
Job is done. Actually, my dream answer would also involve my parent. My dad makes this awesome mashed potato. Like he adds a bit of milk and salt, and it's.
My brother made very creamy mashed potatoes for my last dinner in Ireland. Sumptuous.
You see.
I said sumptuous in case you didn't hear.
We'll look it up later. But we can have like a little,
sumptuous
Q&A at the end.
Adjective.
What were the words that Ciaran mentioned in this podcast?
See if you can spot them all.
Let me clue you in. Jonas at the aftertalk.
Modest podcast genius glossary.
Cool.
So you can put a glossary in the glossary.
And then put some lip glossary on.
Again, they can't see your face.
Hilarious though.
But I'm afraid I can.
Are we done with this question? Actually, have I told you though?
What?
No, I'm moving back to Sweden.
Are you finished uni?
I'm gonna finish the exams and all, but I'm gonna move back and become a lawyer.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
So a third ever podcast and you're already leaving the podcast. Gee whiz, Jonathan.
But that gives us an incentive to do
more.
A lot of them before I leave.
Have you got a law degree?
Now I wanna do.
Alright, you wanna do law now. Okay.
My dad is a lawyer. And my sister is about to become, like in a year. And in my weird head, I thought to myself, she's already chosen that path, so I can't choose it as well. Stupid the conclusion, really. But now I reconsidered it.
Never pegged you as a lawyer. Oh, with your horrible debating skills.
I am a douche at heart.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I get paid for it?
That's what we're hoping the podcast will do. So then you can be expert douche. Douche level 9,000 or over.
I want to have a medal, or I want to have a badge.
I can make you a medal or a badge if you want.
A cape.
You can have a cape. I have a cape actually. I have a cape in my room. That's weird.
Could I have a hat?
I have a hat in my room. I have a Zorro hat in my room. You can dress as Zorro.
I don't think it's lawyery enough. Zorro hat.
That's because you're not lawyering properly.
I like how we destroy words.
Yes. And yet I still try to explain them every now and then.
Desperately holding on to the
clinging
original
on to what I
meaning.
used to know.
Yeah, are we done? I'm gonna move, so that's...
Okay, we're moving on.
Kinda sucks, I guess.
Because Jonathan's back in charge.
I'm emotionally handicapped, I can't go on dealing with this.
Speaking of handicap, that's a segue!
Yes! Question.
Jonathan, would you rather lose an arm or a leg?
An arm. Not... An arm not. Fantastic answer.
For everyone listening and myself, could you please state your answer again?
I would sacrifice a leg.
Why?
Because I couldn't play guitar or piano.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that we rely on hands for.
Creative expression.
You'd be hopping along, but you can get a wheelchair, or like in this modern day, a prosthetic that does the job. This is good. Maybe if one of us were like active in sports, maybe sort of a leg, especially if like we're footballers or runners in some cases. But again, you can get prosthetics for pretty much everything now. But like the range of movement we have in our arms and hands is just too much to lose.
And I guess you could choose which leg you want to sacrifice, or which arm, or is
I suppose that
because that isn't really specified with the question.
It's not, but I suppose the other one's going to end up becoming your good one. There's nothing else to compare it to. Like I'm right-handed, but if I lose my right hand, suddenly lefty's here.
Yeah, but
good old lefty.
Yeah, but you stranger in the tongue.
I say good old lefty. I thought it's probably the bad thing to say.
No, but I think
weird looks from people now,
especially with your hands, because you do so many things with them.
Yes.
Your motor skills are based around whether you're left-handed or right-handed. So you would have to redefine your entire reality if you lost your good hand.
What if we were chimps or gorillas?
So we're adding another layer to this question.
No,
But what if we were apes? What then?
I reckon we probably wouldn't be talking, and we'd be having a much grander time right now.
This would be
Flinging poo and eating bugs.
without being judged for it.
Without being judged for it. And that's what I want. Because there's not a day goes by that I wish I could throw poo.
That's the bullshit part of doing all these things. I get judged for it constantly.
It's because you do it wrong.
How do you throw feces in the right way?
There's either two ways. You can either smile while doing it, so people might think you're crazy, or be very angry while doing it, so that people will think someone deserves it.
Righteous indignation.
Yes. So, but you can't go half-ways. You can't like be angry then smile then get angry, or just sort of no.
True. I can't just come out of the toilet at Todd's and have a poo in my hand.
No,
I'm just like, whatever.
It's either you have to be insane and really commit to an insanity, or find someone who has wronged you, and how can I say this in a fun way?
In a pun way, you mean?
Projectile defecate on them. I think next question.
No, I want to talk about this further.
With the poo?
No, the fact that the extreme level of anger I would have to experience to throw poop kind of touches on insanity, or a mental breakdown in some sort. So I'm arguing now, maybe it's a circle.
Maybe it is a circle. Reason to
spectrum's
throw
bent,
poo at someone is in retaliation for them throwing poo at you.
A poo for a poo.
A poo for a poo.
Oh.
Makes the whole world brown.
Shall we move on?
I think so. Next question. It doesn't matter, it's gone
I hate
now.
these yes and no questions though.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a YouTube video?
I have not, but interestingly enough, you go first, because you actually will like my one.
So you're
go
saving
first.
the good for last then, that's
Basically.
what... No, I just uploaded myself. They got deleted after like a day, so I'm not even gonna mention them or give the listeners false promises.
I don't even know how we're gonna upload this to YouTube. I'm technically banned for life. I met a person who's a friend of my dad's. It was when I was back in Ireland last week. He didn't upload it to YouTube, but he and his band had uploaded one of the first videos to the internet in 1994. I met someone who was one of the first people ever to upload a video on the internet.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Was he in the like top 10 or?
No, like there was literally no one had done it before. I can't remember how exactly it was uploaded, but it was, his band was called DTPP, and that stood for, because they were a punk band, Death to Peter Pan. And they uploaded a live music video that they had done, and that was one of the first videos up on the internet.
What does he do today?
I think he's still a percussionist. He's not in a punk band anymore, but
do they have it on their like slogan when they advertise?
No, I don't think the band he's a percussionist. He plays the ones you sit on.
Yeah, they're hollow.
I can't think of the name. He that's what he does now. So he's kept with the music, but yeah. There was a momentary pause, ladies and gentlemen, because Jonathan just got his finger stuck in the Strathmore bottle and pulled it out.
My sausage finger got stuck.
Sausage finger.
Jonathan, really wide.
Jonathan was so interested in my story that he decided that he had to finger something straight away. First band on internet.
IT guru right here. Next question.
Okay, that was your story? Okay. Oh, awesome.
I like how my tone of voice is lost in translation when I speak another language.
Yes.
Makes me into a bigger douche.
I'm just gonna ask a question myself, because I think the random questions are starting to get a bit boring.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Expand the podcast.
Yes. Okay. What is sort of the media or sort of movie? Is there like one movie or show coming up that you say I have to see that?
There's this comedy duo in Sweden. I actually listen to their podcast as well. But they do all kind of TV programs. And to celebrate their 200th podcast episode, they're gonna do a big live show in Stockholm.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm going. It's like 10,000 people. It's like the big.
At the moment, we only have an imaginary audience.
I'll show you.
Oh, good. Let's show more things that the people can see.
No, it's like the Death Star in Sweden. We're building the Death Star.
Oh my God, that's fantastic!
This is a concert hall. They have hockey games as well, and
that is literally just a snow globe, very apt for where it is. That's fantastic looking. It is basically just someone.
NSA is not onto us yet though.
Someone just basically made a giant snowball and just sort of placed it in a town from what I can see.
Kind of looks like a golf ball as well.
It's outrageous, and that's really fun looking.
The acoustics are amazing in there as well, as you can imagine.
I'm speechless. I can't even say words now because it's just this thing is just words can't. I've been trying to describe it, but like it actually you can't actually fully come to grips with it until you see it.
It's like a golf ball that's been sliced.
And just sort of it's literally just sort of placed in this place. And it doesn't look out of place. It looks you're drawn to it. And there was a woman grabbing a crotch in the Globen.
So I'm looking forward to that. And on Thursday, actually this week, I'm gonna see Alan Davis stand up.
Hey, where's he playing?
Don't know. I was invited like 2 days ago by my friend, and he said, "Let's meet here and then go to the place."
Do you know what the name of the stadium?
I forgot the venue name. You can do say words now. Like I'm just gonna
And you
say
say
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. Neutrality mongerer that I am. Anyway, yeah. So that's
so damn neutral. All I know is my gut says maybe.
Events. What about you, Kieran? Because you asked, so obviously you're
Well,
just looking at
it's
me
just-
with
it's
black
just-
face,
First question.
waiting for me to respond, and then you can tell your thing. obviously.
My better story again.
Obviously, that's how
There
we
you go.
work.
Oh, that was your story? Oh, fuck you.
That's how we work, man.
um,
Okay, do you have anything? Any movie releases you?
well, no, I recently saw Ahmed Jalili. He's an Iranian comedian.
Okay.
That was quite good. He was quite funny.
Like, what kind of humor does he have?
Oh, he does a lot of, I'm gonna say the word, but like I'm gonna explain it more. He does racial humor, but like he talks about like how it's funny how people have these stereotypes. Now he doesn't like, he's not like sort of being a dick. He's sort of talking about like how these things exist because as an Iranian person, he's obviously had to deal with a lot of stuff, especially ignorant people who just see Middle Eastern man.
Yeah.
Therefore, a terrorist.
Where's the bomb? But has he grown up in?
I think he's lived in England pretty much all his life.
Oh, okay,
From
so he's encountered that firsthand,
Yeah.
then I guess.
But
So he's self-deprecating kind of thing.
yeah, there was one joke, and I think it's probably one of my newest favorite jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was talking about like how a great tragedy that Nelson Mandela was lost to the world. How he greatly admired Mandela because he had no fear and would just say whatever he felt was right. And there was a great speech of when he just came out of prison, and as he was coming out of the prison doors up to this microphone to speak to all the reporters and TV crews and news crews. And the first thing he said when he comes up to the microphone was, "I want to talk about 3 dickheads." And all the reporters go, "What dickheads could he be talking about?" Well, there's the old president, of course, and the judge who sent him away, but who could a third dickhead possibly be? "I want to talk about the 3 dickheads. I was locked in this prison." Otherwise, I don't get it. Yay!
What is a short or long-term goal of yours?
To finally fucking upload one of these podcasts.
We can do it today, if you're done with the artwork, are you?
I have to scan it in.
But do you have any goals?
Um,
Except for uploading the podcast, which is also one of my goals.
yes, I think that should become a very important goal for us, and otherwise it's never going to happen. There's no one here.
I like the fact that we're actually piling up episodes, though.
We're piling up episodes like when the dry season comes and you leave me, you actually are going to start a podcast with other people. I said this first episode, and I said you were going to fucking abandon me, and you're doing it now. You dick.
This is so horrible that I'm actually confirming your abandonment issues.
I know.
The one instance you're correct in your prediction.
And it's all falling through now. There's just this tension between us. I hit Jonathan a few times, like, because he edited it all out so you can't hear it.
Is this like me calling you Schiess, if that was your last name? Are your feelings towards me shifting now in that direction?
I don't think there's any process in it anymore. I think it's happened.
Do you have any goals?
It was sort of, remember the first one we ever did was, what do you want to do when you grow up? That's sort of the goal. I want to be Batman.
Yeah, and I want to be a lion, and then a porn star, and then a plastic surgeon for the boobies.
So you can blow on them.
I like we have like the, best of in the episode, in episode 3.
Episode 3, we're already run out of ideas here to talk about what we've done.
Really skeptical about the outcome of this podcast. We're wrapping it up after 3 episodes.
Well, you're wrapping up, don't blame it on me.
But
I've just seen the future, apparently.
Are you gonna do another podcast maybe with someone else?
I don't know.
Will the void be too big to film?
Well, I don't know how to do any of these things though.
Me neither. I suck at this. We're just really
it's
newbie.
pretty
I
good.
love it though.
But you're leaving though. Next question. Would you rather be blind or deaf?
In a way, I hate these ultimatums. In a way,
would you rather is always there.
Yeah, I would rather be blind. I think. Why? Because then I can enjoy the sound of music.
You know, the sound of music is actually a movie.
It is. I can still enjoy it.
There's 2 visual sides to it.
That's true.
Like, you won't understand that all the Nazis are actually white. That plays a big part in history.
Yeah, I think. But it's such a difficult question because being blind, though, like I want to say, I want to be able to enjoy my children's laughter and all that bullshit, but it's at the same time.
Yeah, my children bullshit.
But at the same time, not being able to see them lying in their crib, as being babies. I mean, equally shitty to lose.
Not originally. I've had once upon a time actually decided on this question. I'd come up with the perfect reason why you'd do it.
Perfect way to spend an afternoon.
Well, I've done work for today. Would I rather be blind or deaf?
I'll spend an unreasonable amount of hours of this.
If you're blind, these are the pros. There is no such thing as racism. Skin tone racism, anyway.
I mean, for you can't be racist, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't be racist. There is no such thing as sort of ugly. Everything is as I imagine it to be. Just as there's a certain thing that people don't like when they see movies is I get to imagine the things I think they would be. However, I won't be able to ever get that experience of like beauty in the real sense. Like, yes, there would be sort of things that.
But I think we should, before you go on, I think we should establish: are you blind from birth? Because if you've had sight and know how the world looks, and then lose it.
We'll do both, okay? Which would you miss more?
Losing it.
Losing it. Which would you miss more?
Being blind, I guess. Or sight. I would miss sight. I would miss being blind.
Miss being blind, okay? Which would you rather from birth?
Being blind. Because I have to ask a blind person this sometime. What do you imagine when you... Because like, obviously they have a heightened sense of hearing.
Well, actually,
and they have like a bat echo system.
I remember what it was. I'd choose deaf because there's a lot of ways you're hindered, a lot more ways you're hindered being blind than you are being deaf. And that was that. I do remember it. You have to have some sort of special thing in place as your deaf person. You have to hear when you're driving. But I'm sure there's probably a way or signals or something to tell you to drive. You can't do it as a blind person. They're trying to work on something for blind people to drive. Walking down the street, yes, again, you benefit from hearing things if there's like maybe an oncoming car, like trouble or something. You don't know where you are if you're blind. There is no, unless you like become very used to something, there is no way of knowing you're in a place that you think you are.
What about from birth? You wouldn't have another reality to compare with.
I'd still say deaf because like I know both are horrible to happen to you, but I'd say it'd be easier to be an independent person. I wouldn't have to really rely on as many people for that. I'd feel safer, I suppose.
Yeah, go on.
Only thing, well, actually, I was going to say the only thing is like if there's ever a fire alarm, but at the same time, if there's a fire, you're blind. You try and find your way out if there's a fire. You can't touch anything. Yeah, that's the sound of me burning my hands as I'm trying to touch the walls. They can't see me doing things. I'm trying to be. Isn't
you describing what you're doing?
Yes, but like,
good enough? You have to make the sounds as well.
Yes, but like I don't have coconut shells or a balloon to make the hissing sound. Coconut shells, of course, for horses.
Of course.
Because like I wouldn't have a seeing eye dog.
Is that what they do?
Yeah,
sound effect.
Coconut shells are.
Cool. I haven't really thought about it, but
all time ones, it was usually bubble wrap was guns. Breaking a stick of celery is breaking bones.
Cool.
Yeah, you learned something.
Actually, that would be a really cool industry to get into. Before we digress too much, I want to ask if you were deaf, blind, mute.
Dumb, you can say it.
No, you were a vegetable basically. You couldn't. Yes. You couldn't move. You had no sense of touch.
I think this is going to be a sad question, isn't it?
Could you even argue that you're alive? Because we define reality through our senses. I guess.
That's just sad.
Are you alive? I mean, you have your thoughts. You have your brain, I guess. And your mind.
Again, are we saying this from birth or I lost everything?
From birth. So you would have all these shapeless, contourless images in your head.
I see that and raise you Helen Keller.
Who?
Helen Keller. She was deaf and blind. I think she was rendered mute because she could never see or hear these things. But eventually, I can't remember the lady who taught her, but she was eventually taught to talk and write and read Braille.
Yeah, but she had that opportunity. She could move her arm. She had a sense of touch.
So
I'm saying
completely paralyzed.
You're completely paralyzed. You have no sense of touch at all. Or you're just a constant dream. I mean, you can't learn a language. You can't.
I'd say.
How would you communicate with yourself in your head?
Say
you would be trapped
if
there.
They saw me like that. See, I don't know, because it's a strange question because
anesthesia. To
all extents and purposes, I think I'd appear alive. Actually, or would I? Because I think they do test to check brain activity now, do they?
Mm-hmm. You mean like PET scans,
CAT
scans?
So it all depends. If I was like that, would I even be here if I was...
Like how? What would you have to define reality
there would be nothing. I wouldn't have... There would be... I can't honestly answer this question because I
know you can't. It's just a really interesting question.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly comprehend like the fact that you don't know anything. Like there's no way you can actually experience the world or experience anything or know anything really.
I'm gonna raise this to a douche level now and say maybe the difference between those people and us who have all the senses is that we believe in the illusion of reality, and they're faced with the nakedness of it.
Lawyer, huh? Good luck arguing that one.
My best weapon is gonna be to confuse the jurors, and they're gonna be like, I don't want to appear stupid. So I'm just gonna say not guilty.
Because apparently you're gonna be
defense.
Yeah, you're not gonna be a prosecutor.
Not in this joke, no. Should we move on?
Sure. Next question. Hey Jonathan, what's your favorite type of pizza? Just answer quickly.
Hawaii. That's like the kids' pizza in Sweden. I don't know why, but because it has pineapple and it's funny and colorful, I guess.
Pineapple?
Yeah, I love Hawaii. I always ate it. I mean, I didn't really enjoy pizza until I was like 13.
I
for some reason.
only ever had... I was actually opposite. I only would eat pizza. It had to be plain cheese pizza, and I wouldn't eat hamburgers for some reason. I would eat chicken burgers. Now I eat anything because, like, as we've established, I'm not exactly good to my body. I do bits and pieces. I've been quite lazy.
Spontaneous attempts to...
Yeah. It's because I think I try and take on too much at once rather than, like, do it smart. But
and you get overwhelmed and you just fuck it, basically, and have a treat.
Yes, lots of treats. Favorite pizza? I have a few answers. I have my favorite Domino's pizza, my favorite Pizza Hut pizza, and calzone, which is a pizza. Kind of just
That's
folded.
the baked pizza, right?
Yeah, it's the folded pizza.
Yeah, a baked pizza. All of them are baked.
My favorite Domino's pizza.
That's the baked one, right?
It's a half and half meteor in Texas barbecue with crispy onions instead of normal onions. My Pizza Hut one is I think a steak Texas barbecue because I like the barbecue sauce and I like steak, chicken and bacon. Steak, chicken and bacon. And my calzone is possibly one of my favorite meals. I think I said this of all time. I'm far away. Sorry. The korma calzone. It's happiness in a
box.
I was going to say dough ball.
Dough ball.
Because it's dough.
Works better.
Yes, it does.
Next question. Next question, seriously.
Do you do any impressions?
Yeah.
What impressions do you do? If it's going to be Swedish celebrities, I'll stay with you. But I'm going to... You don't do impersonations, you just do impressions of the person.
No, I do like accents maybe. Actually, my sister is really good at accents. I can do one accent really well. And I can, it's actually the Swedish accent, speaking English. I'm doing it right now.
That's slightly cheating.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
Yeah, you're right, that doesn't really count. I do a lot of voices.
Well, I heard some interesting, I listened to this voice actor's podcast actually, Rob Paulson talking to you, and I recommend it. But
you're not sponsored by them, by the way.
I want him to know that I'm
Trademark.
supporting him. Because I don't like him. But he always gives the advice on the podcast of your bad impression of someone is a new voice no one's ever heard.
That's a very optimistic way of looking at it. Nice.
So like if you ever the thing I would always do in school and a lot of my friends used to do is because obviously coming from Ireland there's loads of different counties in Ireland and there's, as with most countries, there's loads of different dialects. So then we would then practice doing other dialects from around the country. And sort of if you practice doing that and you get better at these voices, then you can start branching out into other voices. I used to practice it a lot more, and I actually do mean practice, but like I've sort of fallen out of practice, if you will. So I like to do a few impressions. I don't know if I should do any now, because the worst thing about, like, if you can do a half-assed good impression is when someone asks for that impression, what do you say? That's the thing that always annoys me. Like, they say, oh, I'll do that. What do you want me to say as this person?
Yeah, because you've already started the conversation.
So do I just stop and just say a quote? But I don't want to say a quote. That's not doing an impression in a fun way. That's just me quoting things.
I mean, yeah. What would you say?
All right, Bugs Bunny.
Would you do a routine? I mean, like
well, let me tell you about the other day when I was talking to Al Pacino. Hoo-ha!
I can't do him. Fucker.
Ah, you fucker.
Ah, you fucker.
Well,
give me your.
I think.
Give me a teaser.
I don't read.
Do you feel lucky? Who's eating a box of chalk?
Like I'm far away.
Hey, that's her.
Hey, you guys over there.
Hello.
Hey, I can't hear.
Sounds like
Kermit the Frog. Yeah. Kermit the Frog.
Deep throat. Isn't that his alias or something?
Deep Throat in Family Guy, yeah, but that's based on a movie.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's from Family Guy. I thought, okay, oh. Jesus.
Okay, let's see. A famous people image generator. These are all going to go terribly. I'm just going to sit in these. I Google. I see you find things.
I forgot this postmodern age.
See, I've said this now. These are all going to be awful. But our personal favourites, because you and I both like doing this one, and everyone likes doing an impression of him, is the Christopher Walken impression. The thing about Christopher Walken impressions is you have to be quite kind of wise guy about it, but also doing the Christopher Walken impression. It's all about the... Actually, this is terrible.
But it's all about the intonation.
All about...
You know!
Wow. It's all about the pause.
Yeah.
Because your dad, he had this watch up his ass. Right up his ass. Right up in there. So it's all about the pause.
Everything he says sounds like he's surprised. Like, how can this have happened
like,
ever?
Wow.
Wow.
It's crazy. and then
surprise.
I can't do an impression of him, but I can do his laugh spot on.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy 80s laugh.
I had no idea.
Have you ever seen...
Delirious.
No, have you ever seen Trading Places?
No.
Or Coming to America?
No.
Have you ever seen any Eddie Murphy movie in the 80s?
Beverly Hills Cop, was that in the 80s?
Yes, okay. Do you remember how he laughs in that?
No. Isn't that...
For some reason, Eddie Murphy laughed like that.
Isn't that like the second gear of his laugh? He starts like... and then...
Another classic is the Arnie voice. The problem with doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, though, you have to be very talented to do it quietly, because everyone always goes for angry Arnie. I myself am including that. So you can say get to the chopper, but then you go and you grind it down and say, Maria, I'm trying to do the voice here, but you're not listening, and people go, I just spat to myself. But then they stupid. They die. They go, that's not Arnie.
That's pretty good. You sounded German, definitely.
That sounded
I think he's Austrian, though.
Interesting tidbit, though.
You sounded Austrian.
No, for Terminator, he wanted to do the dub for the German version, but because he has an Austrian accent, they say no because that's too rustic, and it would have made him sound too country to German people. So basically,
that's such a bullshit.
I know he's the character, and he wasn't allowed to do.
He was offering.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to do the movie in his own language. So we finished.
Do the Germans think that Austrian or the Austrian way of speaking is like a peasant German?
Well, they have like bad history with
No,
Austrians.
I have another question.
Oh, sorry, you have another question. Sorry.
It's an ultimatum, and I know I
you
put
hate
it down
these.
earlier.
Do you hate these?
I guess that makes me a hypocrite, doesn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. So can you just add that to my
list
of things that people find despicable, but also renders me incapable of finding love.
So you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. Would you rather live one more month? And it's a perfect month, so you're happy, you're fulfilled.
You say I'm not fulfilled with Becca now, you prick.
But
why do you always have to take cheap shots at me and Becca during these podcasts? First you say she's not perfect, when she fucking is.
Don't point that finger at me.
I'll point
Stick
away,
finger.
No, I spat into my hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, so everything's awesome with Becca. Like, you're at that stage. No, your month begins when you're at the height of your being, yourself.
Okay.
Your perfected self.
Okay.
So you have that for a month, and then you die. Or would you live 1,000 years feeling mediocre? And you can't kill yourself in those years. So you feel okay. You feel like beige. If that's the color to describe it, you feel beige.
You can't kill yourself, Karen. Oh, but I want to. No, Karen, you made a deal. Fine.
You kind of one of those like apathetic, indifferent douches
Okay.
who kind of hate that they're trapped in their indifference.
Okay.
One of those. But you have some good movies sometimes.
The sound of Perfect Month is great and all. However, I don't know, because I'd like to see where humanity sort of goes in 1,000 years. And who knows, I could probably live for longer.
Could you conjure the enthusiasm for it, though? Being a bleak character that you are.
I'd say it wouldn't be enthusiasm, it'd be curiosity. But, I'm guessing I'm the only one who's going to be living for 1,000 years in this scenario. I'd have to watch pretty much all my loved ones die, including like any Becca or any children we may have, or
their grandchildren
and their grandchildren and their.
We can do this for 15 more minutes if you want to.
Okay.
No more.
No more. That's
so their grandchildren.
You bastard. So there's sort of high points, but I think my natural curiosity, I'd want the longer time.
That saying doesn't really apply here, then I guess. Curiosity killed the bear.
It's killed the bear in Sweden, is it?
What is it in English?
It's curiosity killed the cat and satisfaction brought her back.
You know what? You know what it is? I think
You misquoted it.
I misquoted it.
You're thinking of a bear. There's a bear shit in the woods.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I misquoted.
And with that, I always like to finish on Jonathan messing up for once.
Would you? Okay, so you chose the.
I choose the 1,000 years. You?
Probably yeah as well.
1,000 years.
So this has been
Modest Podcast Genius with
Jonathan Schiess
and Ciaran. Yay, Green! This has been our 3rd episode, and Jonathan's gonna leave me soon because he's a dick.
We're gonna do a song first though. It's really hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know why. I'm drying my pants.
Yes, I like it. I heard that you're settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true, that she gave you things I didn't give to you. Oh, friend, why so shy? Ain't like you to hold back or hide from life. I turned up out of the blue undivided, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't find it. I hope you see my face and that you could be running that for me. It ain't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it hurts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah. You know how time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory days. I could turn up out of the blue, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't find out to see my face, that you'd be reminded that for me it ain't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah. Nothing compares, no worries or cares, regrets and mistakes the memories make. Who would have known bittersweet this would taste?
Never mind, I'll find someone like you.
Like you,
I wish nothing but the
best
best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg.
I remember
You see it.
sometimes it lasts,
in love, but
sometimes it hurts.
instead. Yeah. Sometimes it lasts in love, and sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah.